Hi, John Michael Bliss again here for Grow, Love, and Expand. I want to come to you, talk to you a little bit about follow up from the last video, the council. What is the council? What does it mean? Who is the council? Well, what is this council? So, like I said, why did I start making these videos? Well, because quite frankly, I'm really ticked off. I'm ticked off with the way everything's going, and it's time to get the information out there. There's a lot of people doing it. There's a lot of people doing it. I do, quite honestly, I hope this resonates with people, but I do this for me because I feel like it's my job to kind of get the information out there. I feel like I haven't been doing my job. There's a lot of things in this world, that need to be changed. And like I said, a lot of it, quite frankly, just isn't your fault. I need you to stop blaming yourself. Quit thinking that you messed your life up. Although that could be somewhat true, there's also other equations there that you're unaware of. And people always say, "Why?" Look, I don't like a lot of people. I mean, anybody knows me. I love the human spirit, but there's not a lot of people I like, and it's not because I don't generally dislike them. It's just I know they're not living up to their truest and highest good, and they're reacting on an ego-based manner, which ego. Isn't the greatest at times. It can be used, but most of the time it stunts your growth because it doesn't allow for open expression. It doesn't allow for the mind to think outside the box. So the council, what is the council? The council is the Galactic Council. Like I said, 87 was I kind of came into awakening. Of course, I've been different my whole life. Everybody reaches a point in their life where they're at that, who am I? Who am I? What am I? What am I all about? Everybody's going to get there. I don't care who you are. You're eventually going to get there. And when you do, that's where we want you, quite honestly, because that's where you're at your best. That's where you're at. You're ready to finally shut up and listen, and say, okay, look, I don't know it all. Teach me. And it's like, right, when the student is ready, the teachers are there. They were there for me and still are there for me. But what is the council? The Galactic Council is the overseer of it all. But they don't know much because most of them have not been human. There's a guy by the name of Metatron. People might know him as Enoch, and they say, why is that kind of a relevant reality? Well, it was kind of one of the only human beings that were invited into that whole galactic whole to kind of give a perspective of what it's like to be a human reality, and all this conceptual reality or concept of being human, right? And there's certain realities that that are existing. And quite frankly, I mean, you have to understand that with or without you, they're going to occur. So, part of the reason for the changes that have occurred is, quite frankly, we don't have time. We just don't have time. And people can debate and discuss all they want, climate change, this or that or that. Look, the reality is this. The earth is changing. The earth is changing. The earth is a living, breathing organism. It has to evolve, and it's going to evolve with or without you. And trust me, you don't want to evolve without it. You will not make it. I guarantee you will not make it. If you think you're stronger than Mother Nature, do yourself a favor. Stand in front of a 5 tornado, a hurricane, stand in front of a tidal wave, and see if you make it. Okay? You will not make it. I love when people say, well, humans will destroy the earth. No. The earth will be around a lot longer than humans. A lot longer. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the evolution of the human genome, the evolution of the human spirit, the human understanding of who they are and what they are. And quite frankly, you just haven't been taught anything. We spend our days and hours working without ever having the time for self-development. Most of this stuff is just crap. It doesn't mean shit. Nothing. It doesn't mean jack shit. The only thing that truly matters in life is love, period. What you are and who you are. And everybody gets to this point where they ask themselves who I am. And the earth itself is at a point where it is going to evolve. It has to move into the next density, and it is going to. And we need humans to understand that they are going to come to. All right, look, we've been here 1,000 times before. We have seen this 1,000 times before. And you know what has occurred? The earth has changed. Human beings have been wiped off the planet, not all, in order to reestablish once again. And you know what has occurred? Dick. Absolutely nothing. The same crap, same wheel, spinning the same way. Yeah, sure. Don't even go there. I can tell right now. Oh, the New Agers out there. All things happen for a reason. Bunch of crap. All right, that's simply just bullshit. That is not true. Just because something occurred doesn't mean it had to occur. It just simply means it occurred. Period. It doesn't mean that it cannot be fixed. That's why I talk about forgiveness. Just because you created an action and maybe it didn't work out, it's okay. It doesn't mean you need to make that choice. It didn't mean you need to make that decision. It's just simply what occurred, but we can fix it. We can fix anything because everything is an evolution of thought. It's an evolution of understanding. So we can always come to a different perspective, a different understanding, and then the reality is don't make the same choice again, right? Do different things. But it doesn't mean it had to happen. Person doesn't have to take a gun and shoot themselves in the head. There is an other alternative there. That's just a reality of it. But we can fix it. Oh my God, I did this. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We can fix it. All things happen for a reason. No, bullshit. They don't happen for a reason. They happen because you chose them to happen. That's all there is to it. You chose them to happen. Doesn't mean that it needed to occur. It's just what occurred. People have misconception about free will. Free will is not really the choices that you think. Your life's already laid out for you. The minute you're popped out of the womb, you're just not taught to follow it at all. And the free will comes in the free will to screw up that decision. But we're not taught to follow that. We're not taught, as an early age to follow our path, to even know what our path is. We're not even taught that. Go to school, the blah, blah, blah. Bunch of crap. I'm not saying education is bad. I'm saying the education we know it pretty much is not good. Do you need to learn to read? Yeah, right. Yeah, 2 + 2 is 4. Yeah, absolutely. But there's a lot of things that we need to learn as well that we don't learn. Self-development, understanding of self, who and what we are. We don't learn any of that in school. We don't learn any of that growing up. Why? Because our parents don't know that. You can't blame them because they don't know it. But why is it that way? Because the system has been created that way. The system set it up that way to keep you in the dark. And that's where we come in. That's where the council comes in. I talked earlier about another video about be specific. Why is that? Because the universe doesn't know anything other than what is. Okay? And if you tell it one thing but feel a certain way, then it only knows what the feeling is. Words don't mean anything to a certain degree. They do, but they don't. In other words, you've got to be specific on your intent and your action in order to have the outcome that you desire. You have to be very specific on your detailed explanation. Trust me, if you go to counsel and you're not specific, who is this person? Who brought this person here? They don't even know what they're talking about, right? It's kind of like you telling me, well, the world is this, Donald Trump is this way, the world is this way, Obama's that way, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that. You go, okay, what's the solution? You're already telling me what I already know. You're not giving me any solutions. What is your idea on how to fix it? That's what we need. What is your idea as how you fix it? And that's where we're at. The earth itself is changing. Okay? That's a fact. We can deny it all we want. And and I love when people say, "Oh, you're going to destroy the earth." No. You're not going to destroy nothing. The earth is just fine. Okay? But we have deemed this time to say that no more. We've had enough. The people that have run things, their time is done, over, kaput. We have put an end to it. And we have told them we're putting an end to it. But how do we do this? That's the question. So what we did is we came up with a systematic plan. Could we destroy the earth and human beings come? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. We fundamentally have to change the thought process and the intention of the human spirit. And how do we do that? That's where the council comes in. So in order to implement a plan for the whole, we have to run it by the galactic whole. We have to run it by these individuals who, quite frankly, are just not that smart. And despite what people think, they're just not that smart because they only know what is. They can't see outside of that because they only know what is. And what is this, and that's why they allow this to continue, because they haven't seen the other side. Do they wish the best for you? Without question, they do. Yes. They do, but if you keep choosing this, they don't know. They go like, well, they must want that because they keep choosing this. When in fact, they don't know that their choices were based on a fraud, were based on a lie to begin with. So they don't have technically free will. The choice that they have, or the choice that they made, was based on an absolute lie. So the choice itself is bogus because they're choosing based on what they've been told for the past, which is an absolute lie. So until we expose the truth, until we expose the rats that are lying to these people, the choices can't be deemed as free or can't be deemed as correct because they don't even know what they're deciding on. So we have to change that entire parameter. But the reality is we have to work in the parameters of choice because that's what this system is based on. It's based on the ability to choose. But if you're choosing based on misinformation, how good is the choice? So you're saying, well, he's kind of right on that. It's like, yeah, okay, you got my attention. Talk to me a little bit more. Right? So the council goes, God, okay, yeah, you got my attention. So what's your proposal? I said, well, here's my proposal. We're going to work in the parameter of choice. I'm just going to make the choices smaller. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, it's simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rotten apple. I'm going to take a good apple. I'm still giving you a choice. Now, how many people are going to choose the good apple? A lot. How many people are going to choose There's going to be some that still choose the rotten apple because their conceptual thought can't get past the bullshit, the crap that they've been taught. Right? Cognitive dissonance. They can't get past what they've been taught. They think the government's been truthful to them. They can't even perceive that they're lying, cheating scumbags out there that are only out for their own good, not for you. They don't give a crap about you. If you think I'm lying, just do your own research. We know for a fact there was a company in California, there's a movie made of it, Aaron Brockovich, they dumped toxic stuff in the water. Because it was financially in their better interest to do so. We know this exists. We know that there was a company that put cars out on the road that when rear-ended would blow up. They knew that. They knowingly did that. They got sued for that. So if you don't think people are going to withhold information to counteract your choices, you're just fucking stupid. And we need to wake up, and that's why I'm trying to get people to kind of look at it from a different perspective. And if this resonates, fantastic. But I want people to kind of get a different viewpoint here. So we give them a rotten apple, we give them a good apple. And many more are going to choose a good apple. There'll be some that choose a rotten, but who gives a shit? I don't care. I only need 51%. 51%, I get ruling majority. You see? That's another thing. I don't need everybody. I don't care about everybody. I only care about the 51%. The rest is going to fall in line or fall off the earth. I don't really give a shit. The 51% is where I'm working at because this is the major majority. And if you think about it, Obama won by a small margin, but it was like 51%, right? When he initially won, right? And you say, well, is Obama the answer? No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about change. We're talking about changing people's perspective. It's a slow process. I'm still working in the parameter of choice, right? And what do we have now? Today we have Donald Trump as our president. Who in their wildest dreams or imagination would ever have believed Donald Trump would ever be president of the United States of America? Who? Doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? We don't care. The fact of the matter is, we're priming people for different avenues of thoughts. That's what we're doing. We're using the parameter of choice to create change. Gas does not ever get into people's perspective unless we raise it to $5 a gallon. Fossil fuel is a freaking joke, always has been. It's not necessary. What it is a control reality for the money and power that run the freaking world. And how do we take them out? We take them out by taking out what is theirs. It is simple. We let them think that they're still in control. Meanwhile, we're changing everything around them. We're getting the awareness of everything around them. And how are we doing that? Through choice. But we've narrowed the choices. We've made some so distasteful. Obama does not get elected if George Bush is not one of the worst administrations this country has ever seen. Agree or disagree? I don't really care. You're stupid to think that that was actually positive. But it doesn't matter that it's positive or negative. It doesn't matter positive or unpositive. What it was is exactly what needed to be. George Bush played his role. So I don't want to discard that or dish that. That's exactly what needed to occur for people to open up to a different change. President Barack Obama comes through. Now, oh, we're so disgusted. Now we want something completely different outside of politics. Donald Trump. What is going on here? I'll tell you what is going on here. We're working the system. The same way that it's been used to manipulate the population, we're going to use the same situation and manipulate population in a positive way. What do you mean by that? Well, it's simple. If I tell somebody to turn right, and that is their total absolute enlightenment, how many people turn right? Not many. Because they don't know what's over there, right? They don't have the faith or the understanding because we haven't been taught that. How many people are still going to turn left? And you're going, Jesus Christ, I just told you everything you want is over here, and yet you still take this. What are you, a freaking idiot? And it's like, no, they're not idiots. They just haven't been taught. They haven't been taught to believe or understand anything outside of their box, outside of their realm, because that's what's the control mechanism. So the earth is going, we know the earth is going to change. We have to change people with it. Otherwise, guess what? There's no people. You know, you can't eat the food, drink the water, breathe the air. I mean, what else is there? People, please, we're destroying everything. Water, air, I mean, come on, the pollution is crazy. I love people talking about, oh, climate. Screw climate. Just for a second, screw climate. Look outside. You see that mountain out there? Right. I don't see it because it's covered in a brown yuck cloud. That's called pollution. We got way bigger issues than climate control. Way bigger issues. That's just part of our plan to get you to think of other alternatives. Pollution. Many, many years ago, there was a hole in the ozone layer, right? People go, geez, hole in the ozone. Well, what did it do? It's part of our plan. What? We needed to create change upon Earth. So what did we do? We had extraterrestrials. And yes, UFOs, extraterrestrials are real. They're just advanced beings of view. They have come here. They have been here. They are here. They are going to continue to be here. They said, what can we do? And we said, we need to flood the Earth with love. Okay, so we created a hole in our atmospheric field. We call it the ozone, but you can call it whatever you want. Dimensionality shift, change, transitional indirection of thought, consciousness to create a different awareness philosophy upon Earth. And what did we do? Okay, a couple of things. This was the start of it. We pounded the earth with love, which created what? Communism fell, the Berlin Wall fell. We had a lot of changes back then. But it also got us to think our environment's pretty screwed up. Exactly. Why? Because we knew the earth was changing. We knew the earth was going to shift and change, and we had to get the awareness to a certain level of understanding. Well, I knew Bush was going to win way back when because he was exactly the person that we needed for the job that needed to be done in order to create change, in order to get people to think differently. Going back to the gas, right? People are, if gas is at $1.36 a gallon, no one gives a crap. But when I raise it to $5 a gallon, people go, hey, whoa, alternative fuels. We need something different. That sparks it. I still gave you a choice, though. Still gave you a choice. You see, you can still buy that $5, or you can look for alternative fuels. And the minute people start looking at alternative fuel, start looking for other ways, what happened to gas? Dropped. Why? Because they know their power is going away. They have to shift their thought process. They go, whoa, wait a second, we're losing our power. We better drop our gas because people aren't going to buy gas anymore. Too late, jack-offs. We've already got them. We've already got them thinking in a different direction. We already got them thinking we need to change. God dang right we do. And so council goes, all right, that sounds like a pretty good plan. See, we had counters to their questions. So, okay, go ahead and do it. So that's what we did. We've taken it even further now. You know, we basically, I mean, we have got permission. Look, here's something else that people don't realize. We have a galactic council, a whole. There is a planet. There is a ship outside of Saturn. They're coming back. They have been there for many years. There's people aboard on this that don't even know any other place. It's been there for a very long time. They fled Earth at one time, many thousands, hundreds of thousands of years ago, because of some catastrophic events that occurred. Like I said, we've been through this 1,000 times before. Trust me, this isn't the first go-round. And we'll talk more about Earth, how Earth was Earth before Earth. But this is not the first go-round. But this is their home too. They're coming back, along with many others. But they're coming back. You see their ships, scout ships along here all the time. But there's a council that's been in contact with every single government on the planet Earth and said, look, here's the reality. You better change it. We're going to change it for you. It's because your time is done. We can no longer allow you to affect the people that you've affected because your egos and arrogance have ruined the place for which they live. And I cannot blame these people because I have been told that, and I understand that their choices have been manipulated. So the council went to every government on the planet Earth, and every one of them know this. The powers that be know this. But they're so arrogant. They think, no, whatever. Yeah, we'll change. And they've just flat out lied. They think they are so big that they could defeat the collective whole. They have no idea that without the collective whole, there is no them. That's what their arrogance is. It's fascinating to me. It's just think about it for a second. Everything you do, it's like everything you do, everything is an illusion, right? I just think about this for a second. It's like The Matrix. Remember the movie The Matrix when Neo finally wakes up at the end of the movie and they're shooting him with the bullets and he goes no because he realizes it's not real, and he just holds up his hands and all the bullets just stop in midair because he knows it's not real, it's made up, and then he just drops the bullets. Well, imagine you thinking you're all this in a bag of chips and you're holding a gun on somebody and all of a sudden the gun disappears in front of your hand because the galactic whole says, no. Oh, crap. Yeah, right. You don't have the power. You think you do. These arrogant people who run things think they have the power and they do not. They're just stupid. They've been told, you better let your people know. Because in order to work in a total, complete free will society, all the information has to be outlined. In order for the system to work completely, you cannot limit the choices, right? We have to make all things aware. What we have done is let the rats out. I want you to think, it's like, if you knew going into a casino, let me put it to you this way, right? We have casinos, right? You walk into a casino, and if you knew that the payout was 98% to the house and 2% to you, would you still go in? Oh, some still would because they're arrogant enough to think they can beat that system. And some people have the intelligence or intestinal fortitude or, would you say, positive mental energy to do so no matter what. I mean, Jesus could walk in there. He has that forgiveness and sensibility to understand the disconnect of it without the outcome to create. But those people are so rare, it's not even fathomable for most people. So you have a sign that says 98% payout to the house, 2% to you. Some would still go in. Most people would not. But I still worked with choice. I just gave you all the information. If you knew that cancer could be cured by alkalizing the body, in other words, no chemotherapy, none of this other crap they put you through with hundreds of thousands of dollars, that you could do it through food, that you could do it through alkalizing the body. If I gave you that information and I still gave you the choice of the doctor or taking it through this method, what would you choose? Most people would choose alkalizing the body. Sure, because of cognitive dissonance, some would still choose the doctor because that's what they've been taught their entire life. It's not fathomable to them to go, there's another way? There's another way? Are you kidding me? There's another way? You see? So some will still choose, but that's okay. I'm still working in the parameter of choice. But this time, your choice is based on all the information. If you knew you could obtain free energy, a box in your backyard that would fuel your entire house, you would never have to have an electrical grid, ever. Would you choose the box or choose to have the electrical grid hooked up to your house and pay somebody for it? Some still would because they think, oh, that box, you're crazy. Crazy, man. Right? Some people are going to look at this video and go, this guy's crazy. Because they can't conceive anything else because of cognitive dissonance. Right? So, would some people choose the box? Most will. Some will still choose the grid. That's okay. I don't need to worry about them. They will come along slowly but surely. This is what we're doing currently. We are creating choices. So whether you want to believe it or not, we're winning. We have already won. We're going to win. We're going to continue winning. These people just think they're so stupid. They think they're in power. They're just so dumb. They're so arrogant and so eager. Their ego has driven them so much that they think they can beat the collective whole. They truly do. And trust me, all things come from source. Period. Not one thing is above it. All things come from source. And source is pure love. And source, in the end, will always win. This time around, we're just going to speed the process up. We're taking the power out of the elite and we're putting it back into the people, back into the alliance of the collective consciousness, back into the council. The council is basically just an overseer. We're the power. We just have to get approval sometimes from the council because the council is just unaware what is happening. So with that, we'll talk more next video about nuclear war and why this will never happen. Trust me, if you're waiting for the world to end, it won't happen. We're creating a different viewpoint. So we'll continue with this on the next video. Again, this is John Michael Bliss for Grow, Love, and Expand. I do appreciate you. I love you. I want you to ask yourself in your heart, don't believe me. And you know what? I don't really care. Think what you want to think. You are going to think what you're going to think anyways. It doesn't really matter. You're fucking wrong. The world is changing. We're right. You're not. And what I mean by that is, once you understand your true worth, once you understand who and what you are, you will feel the same way that I feel, that the power of love is the only way, is the only force. If you think not, that's okay. You're just not right. The power of love will win, will always win, and that's just a fact of life. There's nothing you can do about it. And once you understand that and believe that and know that, ask your heart. Don't take my word for it. Ask yourself. I'm not here to convince or prove anything to anybody. Ask yourself, and you will feel that the power of love, once you understand who and what you are, that question, who am I? You know without a doubt what you are and who you are about. Power of love. Love will always win out. Again, John Michael Bliss for Grow, Love, and Expand. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this with others, and I invite you to reach out to me, email me if you'd like, jbliss@gmail.com. Thank you so much. I love you guys a lot. Have a great rest of your day.